So here I have I set up a few questions that we can practice. They are similar to questions from the the quiz that you will be taking next week. No, tomorrow. Well, questions from the finals are coming from the same pool of questions as your quiz and test. So you might see the same questions that you did in the quiz and test, and you can go back to them and look at a question that you missed. You can review, the office hour that I did before if you think you need. All the recordings are available to you. I will also do a review of final exam on Tuesday. I will just pull questions that the mostly missed, or you can request what I should go over on Tuesday. Send me an email or let me know over here. Then I will add it to the review. Because the same kind of questions, reviewing your missed quiz questions and also the office hour are the best way to review them. All right. So for the Fairdivision project, if you have any question, you can email me. And good that you have a tutor here to assist you. It's you're is very fortunate. It's very good that you have a tutor. Some students, many of them don't have a tutor to help them. So I'm glad you have somebody to help you. So ready to do some practice? Any more questions about the final? No? Yes? Okay. Okay. Asking too many questions consecutively. All right. Let's work on these questions. These are similar to the quiz that you will see for voting method and Fairdivision quiz. How many votes are needed for a majority winner if there are 350 voters? Okay. If there's 25 voters, then you will, if this odd number, make sure you have one more extra after you divide it by 2. Okay, this just even number, odd number. Even number, you can divide it by 2 plus 1. And odd number, divided by 2 can round up. Are you good? So next kind of question. A junior class is voting on where they'll plan to have their field trips. There are 5 options, and each voter can rank the 5 options in the order of their preference. How many different orders are possible? So you would do 5 factorial for the number of the options of the order. So if there are 5 options, then you have 120 different kind of orders that's possible. So if there are 4 options, then it's 4 factorial. That's possible. Okay? So if the number of options, factorial means, do you know what factorial is? Factorial means if you have 3 factorial, means 3 times 2 times 1. And if you have 4 factorial, 4 meaning is 4 factorial means 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. 6 factorial will be 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So that's what factorial means. I moved this box, but basically this question says, in which voting method does the order of the method affect the outcome? So we have the list of voting methods, and one of them has a different agenda. What is it? Do you remember? Which method has a different agenda? This means it's the order of the. Let me see. So here's the list of methods. Oh, sorry. So the one that the order that matter is pairwise comparison. Okay. Pairwise comparisons, the order of different agenda will will give you a different winner. Alright, now we do some calculation practice. A class of 20 students is deciding what to give their advisor as a thank you gift. They are choosing between 4 gifts: a hat, a book, flowers, or a dinner. Their preferences are shown on the schedules below. What will be the winner using plurality method? This means the top preference is hat, second preference book, third preference flowers, and the fourth preference dinner. Okay? And this is how many of them. 8 of them chose hat first, book, flower, and then dinner. And 4 of them chose dinner, flowers, book, and hat. So who will be the winner using plurality method? Oh yeah, 50. 48. Good. So again, to set out the answer for those who are not sure how I have this setting is if my first place 4 points, this is supposed to be the last place. I have this typo here, I don't even know. Last place. Fourth place is equal to 1 point. So you count how many of them is first place. For head has 8 first place from the first column and 4 last place in the second column, and head is also last place in the third column, so he got 1 point, but he has 3 votes and 5 votes for head in third place. So that's how it is, and then our winner is the one that has the highest point, which is the flower. Okay. Now we're going to do sequential runoff. The sequential runoff. Let's see, where's my paper? Type. Oh, hi DJ. The session is almost over, but welcome. We are working on some sequential runoff questions. All right, first, in our sequential runoff, first we are doing runoff, right? So we know some of them will be eliminated. Okay. Runoff. So let's look at our first place count. Can we list our first place count? How many first place count for hat, dinner, book, and flowers? So for hat, because we are going to eliminate the one who has the lowest first place count. Hat, we got 8 first place count, and dinner has 4 first place count. Book has 3 first place count. Flower has 5 first place count. Okay. So for sequential runoff, the one that has the lowest first place count will be eliminated. In this case, book will be eliminated. Okay, so you cross out book cross off here. Okay, so that's the first round. And then we're gonna do the first place count again for the second round. Second round. Can you guys see what I typed? Okay, so from the second round, our first place count again, because since books is eliminated, so the first place is adjusted sum. Okay, head still have 8 first place count, And dinner has 4 first place count. But dinner also has 3 from the third column after books is eliminated. So 4 plus 3 equals 7. And flowers has 5 first place count. So now we are going to eliminate the next lowest. The lowest first place count here is flowers. So flowers is eliminated. Okay, now we're gonna count the vote again. Third round. So we have hat. Hat has 8 point. First place count. The reason I know 8 because since I eliminated these two, head is still on the top, so head has 8. And then the next count will be dinner because the other 2 was eliminated. So on the second column, you see dinner is on the top, so dinner has 4 points, 4 votes. And the third column, we see dinner also above head, so dinner also earned a vote of 3 votes. And the last column, dinner has 5 votes. So you add them all up. 4 plus 3 plus 5. 7 plus 5 is 12. So dinner is the final winner. Dinner is the winner of sequential runoff. Okay. So previously we did the border count, flower is the winner, and sequential runoff, dinner is the winner. So the winners are not the same. Okay, so any questions on this? Okay, good. All right. So you will be asked to compare methods, and this is the what's gift chosen by approval methods. So approval methods, okay? So for approval method, it tell you what they assume. They assume student approve the top 2 methods, okay? So we're only looking at the top 2. The rest we are not looking at. So looking at the top 2 methods, I have these. These are the top 2 methods. Whoever who are in the top 2 methods will get a vote. Only the top 2. So let's say, how many votes did head get? Just look at the top 2. For the first column, okay, head is among the top 2, so head get 8 votes. Right? And book will also get 8 votes because book also among the top 2 candidate. So book also get 8 votes. For the second column, who got the vote? dinner and flowers, right? Dinner and flower will get the vote. Dinner get 4 votes and flower get 4 votes. Okay? Alright. The third column, we have books and dinner. So dinner has another 3 votes because the third column has 3 people who chose books as the first. And then books also has 3 votes. Okay? Now the last column, flower get the vote because flower is among the top. So +5. And dinner has the vote. +5. Okay, so we tally up who's our winner. Hat has 8 votes. Book has 11 votes. Dinner has 7 plus 5, 12 votes. Flower has 9 votes. Okay, so the winner is the dinner. All right, any questions on this? Okay. So in an election with 3 candidates and 37 voters, what is the lowest number of votes a candidate could earn and still be the plurality winner of the election? Try it out and type your guess in chat box. Whatever you guess is fine. What do you think, DJ? Okay, good guess. So 37 divided by 3 plus 1. As long, more than 1/3, then it will be the winner. So the next thing that I'm going to show you is the adjusted winner procedures. Let me see if it works here. It doesn't work. Anyway, I have a video on the other side. Have you looked at adjusted winner procedures content, DJ and Reese? Okay. Any questions about it? From 1 to 10, 1 is not comfortable, 10 is very comfortable with the content. Where do you feel? What do you feel about the adjusted winner procedures? DJ? I'm going to show a video, a different one than what they show on the what's that called? And the content. Here it is. And take notes. Okay. Take note and listen carefully. If you need me to pause, I'll pause. And I think this video, if you download the PowerPoint, below the part, okay, 2016, July 7,
I'm going
Fairdivision,
to explain the
in there,
adjusted
so you
winner
can watch it
procedure.
again.
So first of all, we're asked who gets the assets initially. So the asset goes to the highest bidder. So on the artwork, Hannah bid more than Sammy. For the business, Hannah bid more than Sammy. And for the house, Sammy actually bid more than Hannah. So now we want to find out how many points does each player get according to this allocation. So let's find the total. And Sammy has a total of 50, and Hannah has a total of 70. So Hannah actually has the higher total here. So we now are asked what further exchange of property is needed in order to equalize the allocations. And so we see that since Hannah is higher, Hannah's assets need to be transferred first. So we need to find the ratio of the assets that Hannah might need to transfer, which are the artwork and the business. And we always take the highest bidder's bid as the numerator. So we have Hannah in this case over Sammy's bid. So we now have for the artwork 40 over 30, which is approximately 1.33. And for the business, we have 30 over 20, which is equal to 1.5. Now, we know that the lowest ratio item gets transferred first. So that is the artwork in this case. So the artwork gets transferred first because it had the lowest ratio. So after the final reallocation of property, how many points does each of the players receive? So in order to figure out this final allocation, we need to find out what fraction of the artwork does Hannah have to transfer to make Hannah's allocation equal to Sammy's allocation, so that Hannah and Sammy both think that they were treated fairly here. So we know that Hannah will get the business plus a fraction of the artwork, and that's the fraction that we're trying to figure out right now. And that has to be equal to what Sammy gets, and Sammy is getting the house plus a fraction of the artwork. So we know that Hannah bid 30 on the business and she bid 40 on the artwork, and we're going to multiply that by the fraction of artwork that Hannah is going to retain. Now we have Sammy's allocation, and he gets the house, which Sammy bid 50 on the house, and Sammy only bid 30 on the artwork. So we're going to multiply it by the fraction of artwork that Sammy is going to get, and that's actually 1 minus the fraction of the artwork that Hannah is going to get, because whatever Hannah retains, Sammy is going to get. So now we need to solve this equation by distributing the 30. So 30 plus 40x will equal 30 plus 30 times 1 is 30, and 30 times x is 30x. We'll combine the like terms here. So we have 30 plus 40x will equal 50 plus 30 is 80. So 80 minus 30x. Now let's get the x's on the same side of the equation by adding the 30x. So we have 30 plus 70x equals 80. Now we'll need to subtract this 30 here. So 70x will equal 50, and we'll divide by 70 here. So x equals 5/7, and that is actually Whoops, sorry about that. That is actually whose fraction of the artwork? Well, it's actually Hannah's fraction of the artwork. So we know that Hannah will get 30 for the business. So we have Hannah at 30 for the business plus 40 times her fraction of the artwork, which was 5/7, and that will equal to 58 and 4/7. And we know that Sammy will get the house for 50 plus 30 times what fraction of the artwork he's retaining, which is 2/7 of it, and that is 58 and 4/7 as well. And I'll let you calculate those numbers on your own. But now that Hannah and Sammy are both getting 58 and 4/7, then you would think that both of them would say that they are being treated fairly, and that is the adjusted winner procedure.
Hi DJ, I paused. Which which part you have questions? Oh, one more example. Let me see what's at the back of this video. Let's see. Same thing. Okay, let's look at one example. Oh, divide and choose method. Let's look at one more method. Now, when you are studying this topic, make sure you look at all of the videos on the content on at the sidebar. Okay, what I mean is, it's very important for you to. I didn't provide all of them because it's already provided in the on the sidebar of your content. Look at here. This is the content page. Okay, have you been looking at this content page to study? Okay. Um, for the Fairdivision, it is very, very important. Okay, especially important for you to understand this adjusted winner procedures because you will have to apply it and you have to be really kind of good at it. So by just repeating, practicing the same questions, even the example here, repeat, work it out to get the same answer, follow along, write notes, and also the other example that I'm going to show you. And you have to look at all of these videos on the sidebar. You have to. This is a part of the content. I will provide you additional video lessons, but so these are the lessons for you to learn how to use all these methods. And you have to get used to it. to know how to do it. Practice it with the sample questions in the videos.
Okay.
Right now we're gonna look at one example that they did not provide here. They did not provide in the content, but it's very simple. Let me get it.
Okay, I get it.
Hold on. So this is called divide and choose method. It's very simple, and don't mess it up if you have questions about this, okay?
Mom, it's the last slice.
Well, then let's share. We'll cut it in half.
His half can't be bigger than mine.
All right. I'll tell you what. Jake gets to cut.
Yes.
I'll tell you what. But Cody gets to choose.
Nice.
Jif uses the finest peanuts to make a rich nuttier peanut butter.
I got a pretty big half. Mom, it's the last slice.
Well, then let's share.
Okay, so DJ, do you want to use microphone? Then you have to use headphone, because I can hear myself. Otherwise, I just disable your headphone so I will not hear what I talk. Okay. And if you need to speak, you let me know. So for divide and choose, it's one person divide and the other person choose. Simple, right? Fair. Come on. All right, so here are the important notes, okay? The questions could be asked verbatimly this way. For fair division, these are definition. If you make sure you have the definition down, print out all those PowerPoint I give you, and study them before you take the quiz. For the fair division procedure to be considered equitable, each person receives a portion that he or she believes is the same value as everyone else's portion, regardless of its monetary worth. Okay? So this term is very important. It could be just ask you how do you know it's a fair? What does fair division mean? The factors affect how much value a person places on all or part of the objects are, it could be how much it's worth, could be the sentimental value, could be its favorite, unfavorite characteristic like color or flavor. Okay, so for divide and choose is another method that I just showed you. The basic principle of the method is one person divides the item and the other person chooses which share they feel fair. Okay? And here, this is a link for additional fair division methods. This website has the videos. The link brings you to the videos. And click on it and bookmark it to study for this topic before you take quizzes tomorrow. Okay, and also, all right, so let's see. So make sure you watch previous office hour recording about voting methods. Because you came in at the end of my session actually, and this is an extension. I am actually about to end this session. But we're gonna work on some example questions about what's that called? Adjusted winner procedures. Okay. So based on the adjusted winner procedures, each person, let's say Chris and Terry has three things to divide. They have a stereo, TV, and microwave. And they are all given 100 points to divide among all these three items. And the person who gifted more points value will win the items. Right? So for stereo, Chris give 30, Terry give 45. So Terry will get stereo because Terry gives more points, meaning Terry wants it more. So can you tell me, based on this information, what will Terry receive based on just this table? No, not point. What items will... Okay, you don't get it. All right. They are trying to divide 3 items: stereo, television, and microwave. See who will get what. Okay? So they are given the points. Okay? They say, okay, I give you 100 points. You're gonna give these 3 items a point. Whoever who give the items the most points will win the item. They will take the item home. Okay? So let's say for stereo, right? Chris give the stereo 30 points out of 100, and Terry give 45 points, meaning Terry wants stereo better, more than Chris does. So Terry is going to get the stereo. Do you understand? You're getting the items, you're not getting the points. So what other thing will Terry get? No, he gets stereo. So what another thing that he will get? Yes, he will get microwave. Okay, so but then Chris will only get TV. So step 2, we're gonna work on this step, carefully. There's a lot of step in this, but let's see. So first, Terry will get stereo and microwave based on the initial points allocations. You could be asked simple questions like this. First, you need to understand how to read the table. The person who give it more points for the item, that person is going to get that item. Now we're going to read the questions. Chris and Terry must make a fair division of stereo, televisions, and microwave. They place point values on the objects as shown below, like the same table. Using adjusted winner procedures, what point value does Chris feel he received at the end? Okay, here's where the words come in, okay? So step 1, we know what we're gonna get, okay? Step 2, we're gonna have the total points for each side. So for Chris only get TV, right? So TV is 60 points. So Chris is 60 points. Whereas Terry is going to get 2 things. So he's going to get stereo that worth how many points? 45 points, plus microwave that worth 25 points. That's what he thinks that worth. That's what matter. In this case, he thinks that worth 25 points. So Terry actually has 45. What's 45 plus 25? 70 points. Good job. That's step 2, okay? Now, for adjusted winner procedures, we have to calculate the point ratios. So first we will determine for Chris, sorry, this point ratio is the formula is given here. It's equal to points assigned by winner divided by point assigned by loser. Stereo. Okay, so who is the winner for stereo? Terry. Okay, so what's the point that Terry assigned for stereo? 45. So to get the ratio for stereo, you use 45 and divided by point assigned by the loser of the item. So who is the loser is Chris, right? So how much point does Chris assign for stereo? No. How much point does Chris assign for stereo? Where did you get 0.75 from? 30. Thank you. Okay, then you divide them. Use a calculator. 45 divided by 30. Good job. It's 1.5. Okay, now we're gonna do TV. Okay, so now we're gonna take the points that assigned by the winner for TV. Okay, who is the winner for TV? So what is the point ratio for TV? I just go ahead. Tell me the answer if you know how to do it. No. Look at the formula, DJ. Look carefully. I asked for point assigned by the winner for that specific items. So you have to look on the items alone. Don't just randomly get numbers somewhere. Okay, focus on looking at just certain items. So now we're looking at TV. Only look at the row, the row that has TV, which is either 60 or 30. For this case, it's simple, only two people. So who is the winner of that's getting a TV? Winner points divided by loser points. Okay, so what does Chris assign for TV? How many points? 60. Okay, 60 will be divided by what to get the ratio? Thank you. 30. All right, so 60 divided by 30. You should get a number. You tell me what the number is. Two. Good job. It's 2. So now, can you please find the ratio for microwave all by yourself? job. So it's 25 divided by 10. Okay? So you get 2.5. That's step 3. Okay. Now we're going to look at step 4. Now, according to adjusted winner procedures, we are going to try to balance out the ratio. Okay? Since I know Terry got 2 things, right? Terry got, let me see, I can write here. Chris, Terry. Terry got 2 things. Terry got the microwave and the stereo. So I'm trying to balance out the ratio. Okay, microwaves belong to Terry, and stereo belong to Terry. So maybe I need to share the stereo. Okay, so that I try to balance out the. I pick the one that the closest that I can balance out. So I'm gonna share the stereo with. See, I can split the stereo because stereo is the lowest point that I can move from Terry to Chris. So to make it more fair, okay, and we will learn how to set out the formula. So now for Chris. Chris originally has a TV that worth 60 points, right? And now Chris is going to get a stereo, right? Chris is going to get a stereo. So what matter to Chris is how much point Chris assigned to stereo, right? So for Chris, stereo worth how many points? How much point Chris assigned for stereo? How many points Chris assigned for stereo? 30. So for him, he already got a TV. If he got a stereo, he would just get another 30 points, right? Because that's what he think it worth. So 30 points. Okay? Whereas for Terry originally has a microwave. Just a microwave. Okay? That worth 25 points that I know. And he also has the stereo. They're worth 45 points. But now if I move the stereo to Chris, she's gonna lose something, right? She's gonna lose the stereo, right? And stereo for her worth 45 points. So she's gonna take away 45 points. Okay? So this is the fundamental this is how you set out the equation that you are going to use to solve for the x. Okay, so look carefully. What they originally have, this is the formula. The formula is to set out the equation, okay, that you're going to solve for the x. Where's my formula? Oh, right here. The formula is the total points earned, okay, whatever they originally earned, okay, for Chris is 60 points. For Terry is 45 plus 20, which is 70 points. Plus allocated points to specific items times X. I have to write in the different line because it's too long. Okay, so if they earn the item, you're plus. If they lose the item, you'll be minus. You got that? If they earn the items, it'll be plus. If they lose the item, it'll be minus. So for example, let me see, I can change the color of this text. For example, Chris earning the stereo, he's adding more to his pile, so he has a plus in the formula. And Terry is losing the stereo, so stereo formula will be minus. Okay, so to get to the next point to calculate the x, we'll set up our equation from where we are. It's not enough room for me to write everything. I'm going to move this to the side. Okay. So for Terry, for Chris, sorry, he's initially gets 60, and then he's adding 30, right? 30 is the allocated points to the items that we're moving, and times x, okay, 30x, because he's earning the 30x. And for Terry, originally she has 70, right? 25 plus 45, 70. But she's losing the stereo, so we got minus 45x. Okay, so now you are setting the equation for Chris and Terry because we are trying to find out what is a balance so that we can give equal points for both Terry and Chris. We're trying to find the x, what is the appropriate x that we should allocate so that we can split the stereo between Chris and Terry equally or fairly according to their points value. So 60 plus 30x equal to 70 minus 45x. Are you good so far? Any questions so far? Okay, now we're going to solve for x. Okay, the algebra is very important here. Solving two-step equations. This is why we learned it in earlier. And so we need to collect all the x together, right? So what should I do to move the x together? Add what? Don't just tell me add. Add what? What do I add? You're trying to solve x, okay? So Now, x is on both sides of the equation signs, and you're trying to move the x to one side to solve it. Okay? And this is a minus, so meaning if you want to move it to one side, you want to get rid of the x on one side. And you will use opposite operations. To get rid of the minus 40, I like to get rid of the minus x, negative x, so that I can collect it to the positive side. So to get rid of the minus 45x, you will add 45x, the opposite of it. Opposite of the same thing that you're trying to get rid of. When you add 45x there, you also add 45x on the other side of the equation. You get that? You're trying to get rid of the 45x. Now the negative 45x on the right is cancelled off. Okay, so 6. Now what we have is 30x plus 45x. What do I get? Okay, simple addition, 75x. Okay, equal to 70. 45x is gone. Now I want to collect all the numbers together. I got a positive 60 here. To get rid of the positive 60, what do I do? Where do you get 30 from? Okay, subtract 60. I take that, subtract 60 both sides. I don't know where you get 30. Subtract 60 both sides. Okay, 60 is subtracted off, so the left side doesn't have 60 anymore. So we only have 75x on the left side. 70 subtract 60 is 10. So x is equal to 10 divided by 75. Okay? You'd get rid of the 75 by dividing, because 75 is multiplying to the x. Okay. Now we found the x. X is 10. 10 divided by 75. So to get the number that, to get the points value that Chris feels he received in the end, is you use the Chris formula, which is 60 plus 30x, okay, equal to 60 plus 30 times the x that we got, which is 10 divided by 75, and use your calculator. You should get your answer. It's 64. Okay, it's the points that this is points value Chris feel he received in the end is 64. Okay, good. So that's the end of this session.